All right, well, today's video is going to be actually very short because I'm going to direct you to another video. So I would like you to, when we're done with this here, you and me, what I'm saying here, please click on the link at the end of the video. I'll also have it embedded in the description and below the video, but follow that link. Today's discussion is going to be about church management software. In the business world, you might refer to it more as a CRM, some kind of a customer management software. This is the nerve center of the church. It actually quite shocked me to realize that a church of your caliber, with as many professionals in the church and the resources your church has, a new campus, just everything, and you're running without any software, central nervous system within the church. Sarah's job is very difficult because of that. She's doing everything on her own. How do we know who's been baptized? How do we know who's on what committee? Who do we know who attends small group? How do we know what visitors came in the church? Who stayed? Who didn't stay? We have no way of really knowing any of that. We have a very marginal information infrastructure. We got some things. And we do have the nice app that's like a church directory, but that's not really a management type of a thing. Things are in there. Things are in Excel spreadsheets. Things are in different forms, written on the back of napkins, stuffed in a drawer. We have information in the oddest places, and it's in a non-usable way, or at least really usable way. So anyways, all that to say, my first thing in the job, and this will be my first official thing that got accomplished, is purchasing this software. So we do have the software purchased. It's just in the implementation stage of getting installed and getting all the data hooked up. And it's going to be a long process of getting all the data secured the way we need it in this system. This is important because now think of all the videos we've talked about. Think about hospitality when a visitor comes to the church. People don't like to equate really churches and comparing them to businesses, but it's a good model. When a visitor comes into the church, it's like a business with a lead. A business has a bunch of leads that they've gathered. And then over the course of time, those leads tend to sort themselves into hot, warm, or cold leads. Who are the people really interested? Who are the people kind of interested? And who are the people they're not interested? So those are hot, warm, and cold leads. How do we know that for a visitor? First of all, are we even tracking the visitors at all? And the answer is no. But even if we were tracking them, we wouldn't have a way to do hot, warm, or cold, or anything like that. Did they show back a second time? Do we have notes in the system telling us, did they get contacted by someone in some way after the first visit? Did they get a phone call, a postcard, an email, a text? Anything? Did they get any kind of contact? When we get the contact and we log it in there, we know what visitors came. We know what visitors we followed up with. We know what visitors came back for a second visit. And over the course of time, we could do some analysis with the data. How many people showed back a second time? And then how many of those people were contacted? So maybe people fell through the cracks and our system's not 100%, we didn't contact everyone immediately. We could see those people who did not get contacted did not show up for a second visit, and those who did get contact were more likely to show up for a second visit. Then who showed up for a third visit, and who was contacted after the second visit, and who are they connected with? And, we can follow them through the process. What are their interests? We can put notes of their interests as we're talking to them. That way we can then connect them. Oh, I'm really interested in learning more about the Bible. We need to connect you with some kind of an education, a Sunday school class or a Bible study. I'm interested in mission work and serving our community. Well, we'll connect you with the people in the groups in our church who are doing that kind of a thing, and so forth and so on. So that's how we are going to effectively grow the church, by really managing all of the people we attract to the church through the marketing. Right now, there's really nothing in place. And if it's something, it's haphazard. We might call someone, we might grab a phone number, we might do this stuff, but it's not a process as you would in a real business, if you will. So that's that side of it. We talked about retention. We can have in this database system all of the programs within the church, every small group, the one that's called small group, and all the small groups that have different names and different purposes, whether it's mission or education or just fellowship. We can track who attends those things, how often they attend, how involved they are. And then again, as I mentioned before, more importantly, who's not involved. And all of that's going to be done in this, you can see behind me, this software that we can track all this information, and it's going to be greatly enhancing our ability to do effective ministry, to reach out to the visitors in an effective way, and to retain the people who have joined the church, because we can effectively make them a part of the life of the church. We're just scratching the surface of what this program can do. There's its own basically online portal, so you can see the membership and work with it that way. There is a whole financial wing to the software, although the church has good financial system in place. But if they ever chose to use this, they could, but they don't have to use this. But it's there for the working, or maybe they might find a way to integrate and use them together in some way, but that's up to the financial team. We can send emails out from the software. We can send text messages out from the software. Just all kinds of communication will be enhanced. We can plan the worship services from the software. They have a special worship planning software. There's so much that can be done, but to really learn the software, you really need to hear it from the people who created the software. So that's where I want to now link you to the video that's a general overview of the software. I know a lot of you aren't computer people. I know a lot of you won't be working with this database. But still, watch the video. It's fascinating. Even if you don't understand some of the stuff that they're saying, I think you'll get a sense when they're talking the big picture of what it can do and why it's important to the church, and why it would be important for you to participate, even just as a user and not using the software, but supporting this system as it is getting in place, because it's going to be very powerful and very important. So watch the video in its entirety to the best you can, and really try to gather the information from what they're trying to say. For those of you who are really interested, from that video, you can find all kinds of church track videos. So on this church track software, there are going to be many different compartments of the software: the worship section, the people section, the financial section. Whatever section you're interested in, online you'll be able to find a targeted video that's going to talk more extensively about that specific area of the software. Now, for those of you who are not intimidated by technology or the software, we could use as many people participating, actually physically entering data as possible. We got some people who's going to help with the initial setup, but who's going to log all those visitors that come into the church? Who's going to track how they've been followed up? Who's going to track who's in what committee, and how are they going to integrate into the church? So there's many different ways that many people can participate in this software. We don't want to put it all on Sarah's shoulders. That people can do this from home. They don't have to come into church. They can log online and get into the software and help be a part of this. For someone who doesn't get out much, maybe, but is not afraid of technology, this would be a great way to participate in the life of the church, to take on one of these responsibilities. But with that, I said I wanted to keep this short. Please, 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 there's going to be a link to this video, a little panel cell. You just click on it, and it should take you to this video. Or in the description of this video, you'll find a link to the video. Watch the video in its entirety. That video is about 15 minutes long, but it's really going to show you what Church Track is all about.